Alright, imagine this. It's late at night. You're lying in bed, your phone screen glowing in the dark. You tell yourself just one more episode of that true crime documentary. But 3 hours later, you're still watching. Eyes wide. Pulse racing. You're horrified, and yet, you can't look away. Why does this happen? Why are millions of people, especially women, so obsessed with stories of murder, mystery, and mayhem? Is it morbid curiosity? A coping mechanism? A cultural warning system? Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of true crime, and why we're drawn to humanity at its darkest. Let's go deeper. A safe way to stare into the abyss. Here's the strange paradox of true crime. It's terrifying. But it's also comforting. How can that be? True crime gives us a front row seat to humanity's worst impulses, without actually being in danger. You get to experience the adrenaline of a high-stakes drama, the rush of fear, the shock of violence, from the safety of your couch. It's emotional exposure therapy. Like watching a horror movie, but with one big difference. These stories are real. The stakes are real. The pain is real. That reality adds a layer of gravity and intimacy that fiction just can't match. Control in a world that feels unsafe. For many viewers, especially women, true crime serves another purpose, a form of preparation. When you live in a world where you're constantly told to be cautious, don't walk alone at night, don't leave your drink unattended, true crime becomes a kind of survival manual. It answers questions like, what exactly did the killer do? How did they get away with it? What signs were missed? Could this happen to me? The gruesome details aren't just for shock value. They offer insight, like reverse-engineered protection. It's not about glorifying violence. It's about understanding it. And for some, it's about reclaiming a sense of control in a world that often feels anything but safe. Morbid curiosity. The dark side of empathy. But let's be honest, part of the obsession is just raw curiosity. We want to know, how could someone do something so evil? What went wrong in their mind? Could I ever be capable of something like that? These aren't easy questions. They tug at our understanding of morality, identity, and humanity itself. True crime lets us peek behind the curtain, to explore the forbidden corners of the human psyche. It's not necessarily sadistic. In fact, it can come from deep empathy. We ache for the victims. We get angry at injustice. We want closure. Justice. Meaning. True crime isn't just entertainment. It's modern morality on trial, where we, the audience, become both jury and judge. The puzzle factor. Our brains love solving mysteries. Here's another reason we binge true crime. It's a game. Our brains love puzzles. They crave resolution. And true crime delivers that slow, methodical unfolding of truth. Clues. Motives. Red herrings. Twists. It triggers the same reward systems as Sudoku, chess, or escape rooms, but with life or death stakes. Every episode is an invitation. Can you figure it out before the detectives do? It's not just passive watching. It's interactive empathy, a psychological dance between curiosity, horror, and hope. Justice as catharsis. In a world where justice often feels delayed or denied, true crime gives us something rare. Closure. When the killer is caught. When the trial ends. When the victim's story is finally told. We feel something. Relief. Satisfaction. Vindication. It reassures us that evil can be confronted. That truth can win. Even when the outcome is tragic, there's something powerful about witnessing the process, about bearing witness to pain, and refusing to let it be forgotten. That's why so many true crime fans say they're not in it for the gore, but for the victims. To honor them. To remember them. To speak their names. True crime and the media machine. But let's not ignore the industry side of things. True crime isn't just a genre, it's a business. Podcasts. Documentaries. Netflix series. YouTube essays. There's a reason it's one of the most profitable formats in media today. Why? Because true crime stories hook you fast, are relatively cheap to produce, tap into primal emotions, encourage binge watching, create massive online communities. It's a marketer's dream. But this raises tough ethical questions. Are we commodifying tragedy? Are victims being exploited for views? Are we turning murder into a meme? Some families say true crime re-traumatizes them. Others say it brings long overdue attention to cold cases. There's no easy answer. But it's a conversation worth having. Gender in true crime, why women love it most. Here's a surprising stat. Roughly 70 to 80% of true crime audiences are women. Why? There's no single answer, but several theories include identification with victims. Most true crime victims are women, so the stories feel personal. Preparedness. As mentioned earlier, many women watch to learn warning signs or self-defense strategies. Empathy and justice. Women often lead movements for victim advocacy and social justice. True crime taps into that energy. Safe fear. In a society that often downplays women's safety concerns, true crime allows women to explore fear in a controlled, validating space. In short, it's not obsession with death. It's obsession with survival. Real-world impacts, more than entertainment. True crime doesn't just live in your earbuds or on your screen, it's changing the real world. Some key impacts. Cold cases reopen thanks to fan investigations and podcasts. Policy reforms after documentaries exposed corrupt police work. Public pressure influencing jury trials and media narratives. True crime is no longer niche, it's a cultural force. But that power cuts both ways. When poorly handled, it can spread misinformation or glorify killers. When done responsibly, it can educate, empower, and even help bring justice. Final thoughts. So, why are people obsessed with true crime? Because it's not just about crime. It's about fear, control, empathy, morality, justice, identity. It lets us explore the darkness without falling into it. It reminds us what's precious by showing us what's lost. And in a world full of chaos, it gives us a strange kind of order, one story at a time. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a deep dive into the human condition. Tell me below, what's the most fascinating or disturbing true crime case you've ever heard? Let's talk in the comments, and until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.